If you're a fearful avoidant attachment style, or if you're dating a fearful avoidant, there's something you need to know that will change the way you see the relationship to this person forever. And this is all about the on again, off again cycle of relationships. So, in today's video, I'm going to take you through why fearful avoidants feel like they are all in and then suddenly want to shut down and pull away, and how this cycle can end so that you, if you are a fearful avoidant listening, don't have to feel like you're constantly flip flopping, going through that exhausting cycle of wanting something with somebody and feeling like everything's going well to suddenly needing to retreat and push other people away. And if you're the partner of this individual, then you want to make sure you don't miss this video so that you have the crucial tools to navigate this relationship before it potentially gets sabotaged. Now, the fearful avoidant attachment style individual is somebody who really experiences the polarities of the attachment spectrum. So they can feel really anxious in relationships, and they can feel like they are afraid of being abandoned, scared to be left alone, or, disconnected from somebody. They can fear rejection in relationships. But they also have a really strong avoidance side. So they can fear being trapped. They can fear feeling helpless or powerless. And they often feel this unstable sense of kind of unsafety in relationships as a general rule, because relationships make them feel a lot of all of these different emotions and triggers and wounds all within a relatively short period of time. And most challenging, or one of the most challenging aspects, at least, is that the fearful avoidant tends to really struggle to feel like they can actually trust and actually settle into a relationship and believe in the future of a relationship as well. So imagine that you are somebody, okay, and some of these things may resonate with you, that fears having people too close to you because then you feel trapped and need to push people away, and are not sure if you can really trust them when they get really close, and generally don't feel super safe in relationships as a result. But then let's say that when people get too far away, you find yourself feeling really anxious and sometimes needy and clingy and wondering what they're doing and having this uncomfortable kind of panic in your body. And as a result of that, you can't really settle in. It feels really difficult to just be yourself, be open, share what your needs are, open up, communicate, have boundaries. Like, you just feel like that's not really in your realm of relating to people. So, what happens when you start feeling a lot of romantic feelings for somebody? When all those feelings come online, how do you start dealing with those feelings? Because you're afraid of people getting too close, but you're also afraid of them being too far away. Well, generally, what happens with the fearful avoidant attachment styles, because of some of the core wounds I mentioned, according to integrated attachment theory, essentially what you'll see is that because of these different pain points and challenges, a fearful avoidant will feel triggered often in a relationship and then feel the need to really push somebody away. And this hurts because the fearful avoidant, when they're really triggered, may not mean to push somebody away. Like, they may not actually want the ending of a relationship, but fearful avoidants often push people away as a subconscious strategy to push away the negative feelings that they are associating with people, which at their root are actually about unresolved trauma from their past experiences. So, what do I mean by this? If you grew up in a household that was chaotic, that didn't have a lot of trust, where your caregivers weren't consistent, maybe there was enmeshment or codependency, or just a lot of turmoil and chaos as a whole, maybe a lot of fighting or arguments, or different family challenging dynamics that were quite repeated. What happens is when people get too close to you, it feels overwhelming because it triggers all of those different core wounds. And a lot of those core wounds that you have are actually from past experiences, but when they get triggered in real time, you think they're happening specifically because of the person in front of you. So let's say somebody wants to spend more time with you and you're feeling like that avoidant side needs space. If somebody wants to spend more time with you and they're asking to take you out on a date or get together more often, the fearful avoidant mind often goes directly to this idea that, oh my gosh, I'm being trapped. This person's trying to trap me, rather than thinking about, hey, this is moving too quickly and I need to communicate, or I need to set a boundary. And the reason that the fearful avoidant mind doesn't go into problem solving, but instead to push somebody away really quick, is because when they first encountered these problems in their childhood, they didn't get the opportunity to learn how to negotiate or set needs or say needs or set boundaries with people. So that wasn't on the table then. So the subconscious mind, that's the reference point for these things. It's like, okay, well, it wasn't on the table then. So this isn't in the realm of possibility now. And so it's easy to feel really imprisoned by experiences that you don't like. And then it feels like the only way to get out of that imprisoned feeling is to run away from the situation in front of you, to have this really strong flight response that gets triggered. And a flight response is essentially just a trauma response at its core. And what you would be looking to have from a healthy perspective instead would be to identify what feels uncomfortable for you, to convert that into words, using emotional literacy, like to be able to say, oh, I feel a little bit stressed right now. I feel a little bit overwhelmed by this person. Okay, well, what do I need? Well, I need things to move more slowly. I need this person to respect that I've got a lot of things going on in my life and I have certain boundaries. And to then express those needs to that person to see if that is a solvable problem. But when you don't have emotional literacy modeled to you growing up, when you don't know what your needs are, when you don't know that feelings are feedback and they're actually there to guide you to those answers, not to just make you feel bad for no reason, when all of those things are out of your reach and out of the realm of possibility for you and your awareness, it just feels so overwhelming. And then, as a subconscious strategy, like I said, to push that negative feeling away, you push the person away. And this is where we get into these fearful avoidant makeup and breakup cycles, where the fearful avoidant pushes somebody away so strongly because they're triggered in that moment and they can't see outside of their subconscious comfort zone of what they're used to. So they think the only way to get away from this situation is to push the person away and to end the relationship and threaten to break up from the relationship if they feel like they can't trust somebody or it's moving too fast or they're afraid of losing the relationship to themselves or they feel like they're sick of not having boundaries. But instead of thinking, oh, so I should start setting boundaries and communicating, because that wasn't historically an available solution, the subconscious mind doesn't see that that's available to you now. It's like an unknown, right? You can't even know that you don't know it because, generally we don't really have a whole lot of access to this type of information until at least more recently. So what happens is fearful avoidance often go from this perspective of like, I have to push this person away to feel safe again, to feel like I can have this relationship to myself back, to feel like I can get my needs met. And then when they're out of that triggered situation and they've emotionally regulated again, like after that experience happened, after they threatened to break up with somebody or leave the relationship or said that it's over, sometimes then what will happen is they'll realize like, wait, I didn't mean that. That was just me feeling really emotional and really triggered. And that wasn't actually what I want. And it's almost like the part of themselves when they're really triggered and the part of themselves when they're not triggered are like almost two different aspects of self. And in a sense, they are. It's like the wounded self versus the conscious self. And when those wounds are alive and we don't know how to unpack them in healthier ways, we resort to these behaviors. But when we are then we're no longer dysregulated, we're calm again, we can see what we actually want from like the highest expression of ourselves, essentially. But it becomes really hard as a fearful avoidant to do something like that and then go back to somebody and say, hey, I messed up, I'm sorry. And sometimes fearful avoidance will do that, and then you'll have the makeup dynamic. But then unless those internal core wounds that I mentioned from an integrated attachment theory perspective, the trapped, helpless, powerless, unsafe, fear of being betrayed, abandoned, alone, rejected, until those core wounds, that unworthiness that FAs can carry as well, I am bad, like those are some of the big core wounds of FAs. And until those things are moved through, then often the fearful avoidant will keep going through this like breakup and then makeup cycle, because they're pushing that person away again when those feelings are online. But the feelings have an internal source. They're not about that person. That person may be a catalyst for that, and maybe bring those feelings up in them or touching these wounds that are not healed. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid for somebody or like salting a wound by accident. But ultimately, only the fearful avoidant is the one that can heal those wounds in relationship to themselves. And that comes through subconscious reprogramming techniques and tools and processing those old experiences. And we've got a lot of courses in PDS, by the way, for free that you can check out for 7 days. One of them being the emotional mastery and belief reprogramming course, and will literally help you to reprogram and recondition these painful core wounds. And as you learn to do that more effectively, then these wounds won't spark this behavior of needing to push somebody away. And then those wounds will also be something that you're free from, so that you can feel settled into relationships. Like, you can trust. It doesn't mean you don't address red flags, or you aren't like cautious in terms of who you decide to be in a relationship with and mindful of things, but you won't be coming from this like constant place of fear and suspicion, which quite honestly can just be exhausting to live in that dynamic all the time. So you'll see, when fearful avoidants have the ability to really move through these wounds, they can become more free. They aren't breaking up and getting back together over and over again. And they won't get to this point where they're so triggered by something happening that they feel like, I have to push this person away just to get rid of this horrible feeling that I'm experiencing, because instead they'll have internal ways of regulating their emotions from the inside out. And so a lot of these like makeup breakup dynamics are actually the result of like unresolved trauma, unresolved wounds, and things that really need to be addressed and healed at a much deeper subconscious level, so that they don't get brought into all of your future relationships in these ways that cause you to push away and then feel like, I regret my decision, and then push away and regret your decision, because ultimately this wears away at the overall like connection in a relationship, at the overall trust between you and the other person, because it's hard to be on the receiving end of that as well. I just wanted to jump in and share something exciting. We are actually, for the first time ever, running a promotion for 60% off of your first month at the Personal Development School. And this gives you access to all of our courses, including all of the courses about different attachment styles and how to navigate those relationships together. So, for example, a fearful avoidant with a dismissive avoidant, how to really work through that relationship, all the different challenges, how to show up. We also have courses on boundaries, communication, healing your attachment style to becoming secure. So many different courses in there. But on top of that, I'm in there 3 days a week doing live webinars. So you can come in, ask me any questions that you have at any time, and I will be there to support you. And I'd love to chat with you. And we actually have trained coaches and facilitators who are in there all other days of the week except for Sunday. And there are community support events through them. There are webinars with them, smaller classes. So you have so much extra support in really integrating all of the materials and work in there. And I will say, as excited I am about the YouTube videos that we get to put out every single day, just because of the length of the courses and content, they're so much better than our YouTube content, because you can go into so much more depth. There's workbooks, worksheets, and tons of support. So if you want to check it out and actually get 60% off of your first month for only $39 at the Personal Development School, I will put a link to access that down below. So anyways, I hope this makes sense. If you want to do a deeper dive, again, you can check out the Emotional Mastery and Belief Reprogramming course for free for 7 days, or you can also check out the Rebuilding Trust course, which is a really powerful one for fearful avoidance. And you can use the link below to access. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.